Another one bites the dust. Jesse Winker is headed to the injured list, and his replacement, you might remember. You're watching Mets Daily. Smash that thumbs up on the video right now. I'm Jake Brown, at Jake Brown Radio on all socials. Make sure you subscribe to Mets Daily. Share the channel with your Mets fan family and friends. Share it to your Facebook groups. Let them know every day we're here, 10 to 12 minutes, weekly guest. A lot more fun things. Giveaways are coming very soon, so stay tuned for that. Let's get right to it. A rough weekend for the Mets. We'll get into that. But that news of the hour, we did this show. The news came out. We had to redo the show. Brett Baty's back. Jesse Winker is out. Jesse Winker got hurt within 4 innings of playing left field for the first time this season. Maybe you got to keep him at DH. On his throw home, he hurt his oblique. Winker's headed to the IL. We're not sure the severity of the injury, but he's going to miss at least a few weeks here for the Mets, and they got to figure out, hey, what left-handed hitter do we want to platoon with Starling Marte? Because Marte has not hit enough to be your every single day DH. The Mets go with Brett Baty. Batty dealing with a toe injury, a big toe injury. Apparently he's fine enough, and the Mets say, hey, he's good to go. We're going to call him up, and he's going to get some chances. And I know a lot of fans are happy about it. This was a move that the Mets fans, some of the fan base was pissed about when they chose to keep Jose Azocar, which they needed another center fielder, over keeping Brett Baty. As we all know, the Brett Baty story. A couple of years, first-round pick was a disaster, was not good enough. Had a couple of terrible weeks here, got hot in the last week, and then was sent down. Now, here's how this works. And shout out to Ben Yoel from Twitter. Shout out to my buddy Mark Luino, friend of the show, explaining it to me because I was not sure here with the Brett Baty situation of his contract and how this works. So here's the breakdown. The Mets used his option year as this year, meaning the Mets have multiple times here that they can send him down and send him back up. This is the last year they can do it. Next year, it's DFA or bust. That's it. So, Brett Baty, if they choose after a couple of weeks here, if Winker comes back and they want to send Baty down, they can without having to DFA him. So, there's no fear, I don't think it's a fear. You lose Baty, but there's no fear of losing Brett Baty this season because this was his final option year. It's the whole year. They can send him back up and back down multiple times. Next season, they can't do that. So that's how this works. I thought that now that Baty's back, the next time he is sent down, he would have to clear waivers or somebody else can pick him up. That is not the case. So Baty is safe on the roster no matter how many weeks he's here, unless, of course, the Mets decide to trade him. And listen, this is a couple more weeks here that they do get to see what they got in Brett Baty to figure out, hey, is he trade bait? Listen, Brett Baty, if he hits you in the next couple of weeks, Winker comes back, Brett Baty's trade rate certainly might rise. That first month, it was a rocky road. For most of the time, he sucked. His last week, he was great. But now the Mets get a bit of more of a sample size to maybe show trade partners, hey, Brett Baty can hit. Like, he's a big leaguer. You guys might want him either at third base, part-time DH, second base. So I think what the Mets will do here is against right-hand pitching, you might see Brett Baty back out there. I thought the move was going to be Jared Young. I thought the Mets were going to give Jared Young a shot here. He's hitting really well in AAA. Baty, 3 for 10 so far since being back in AAA. Been out the last few days with that big toe injury. Now you get to see him. All the people who clamor for Baty, he's going to get another shot here. And listen, kid, prove yourself. You did it for a week. Let's see it for a couple of weeks here. Let's see you step in there when the Mets need you, whether it's a pinch hit spot, whether it's your DH, whether you're spelling Vientos a day. I don't think anyone should be spelling Luis Angel Acuna a day. Acuna getting on base 4 times in that first game yesterday, 3 hits and a walk. He's stealing bases left and right. 8 of the 20 Mets stolen bases are from Luis Angel Acuna. Acuna's an everyday player. Point blank, period. It's not a debate anymore. It's just a fact. The question is, how often will Baty play? He's not going to play against lefties, but my guess is when Marte sits against a righty, Baty plays. If it's a lefty starting, Marte's playing, they bring in a righty late, maybe Baty pinch hits for Marte. We'll see what happens. But what do you think? Let us know in the comments below. The Brett Baty fan club, you better be hyped today. He's back for the series in Arizona that begins on Monday with Griffin Canning taking the hill as the Mets look to rebound in Arizona after a rough day Sunday. It wasn't really a rough weekend. Saturday was rained out. Friday, the Mets looked great. Sunday was just a rough day. They left the population of South Dakota on the base pass. They couldn't get guys home. They couldn't get runners home from third with less than 2 outs. It's been a problem for this team. 2 losses Sunday, both by 1 run. That makes it 7 of 13 losses this season, as they are 22-13, have come by 1 run. 11 of 13 by 1 or 2 runs. Only 2 losses have come by more than 2 runs for the Mets. And I get it. You're going to say, Jake, close is only good in horseshoes. There's no moral victories in baseball. I'm not going to say that's wrong, but I'm also going to fight you back by saying this. The Mets are in every game, and multiple of those games, the umpires legit cost them the game. I mean, we're talking about the game in Minnesota where Jose Buda attacks first. He's out. They call him safe. Mets don't have a challenge. Yesterday, Pete Alonso's got a swing, but that was ball 4. You looked at it on the replay. The ABS system that's overturned, the game is tied. So the Mets have gotten screwed almost every 1-run loss by a call by the umpires. I don't want to be the Detroit Pistons and cry about the officiating here, but in 1-run games, those are going to turn. The tide will turn for this team. They're showing you that they fight. They're in every game. At some point, that runner from third with less than 2 outs is going to score. They're going to get a fly ball. They're going to get it done. So I'm still very positive about this team despite 2 series losses in a row. Every team fights adversity. This is the adversity they're fighting. Injury after injury after injury. Eventually, they're going to get Manaea back, Montas back. Blackburn has started rehab. Eventually they're going to get Siri back. They got some reinforcements. The tide will turn. It was just a rough day on Sunday. Let's break down kind of what happened here in Game 2. What are you going to do? Juan Soto, Game 1, 20 ballparks is a home run, not in St. Louis. And then Game 2, Scott makes a leaping catch of the wall, robs a home run. That's a 3-run homer. I mean, the Mets win the game if he doesn't make that catch. So, again, just some tough breaks here. Juan Soto's had some tough breaks. We're seeing him turn the tide. He's hitting the ball, and he's nearly hitting it out. I mean, that's just an amazing catch. You tip your cap to the center fielder, and then that inning, bases loaded, 1 out, they don't score again. 3 for 11 running scoring position, 10 left on base. Sunday in Game 1, Mets lose 6-5, another 1-run loss. 3 for 15 running scoring position, 12 left on base. Bases loaded, 1 out in the 8th. They can't bring that tying run home. They can't hit that fly ball. Sometimes it might take a bunt. Sometimes it might take leaning into one. Sometimes it might be taking a couple more pitches and drawing a walk, but they're right on the edge of tying or winning these baseball games. So that's why I think it's a good sign. This is a team that's not getting blown out like every night. And this is why I continue to say they're must-see TV because, there's going to be a lot of those that you're losing your mind over, frustrating, but that's why those wins, those tight wins and that hot start and still being in first place is so important because when you go through these losing streaks or losing series, you can hold your hat on the fact that they're still in first, that they still have a 22-13 record. Sunday pissed me off that Carlos Mendoza. I know it's a doubleheader. I know you want your starters to go long. Saturday you had a day off. You had all hands on deck Sunday, which meant why are you leaving the kid Blade Tidwell in his big league debut to get roughed up? I mean, what? I know he's getting sent down after the game, but what was the point there? He kept giving up hit after hit, and then finally you get the bullpen warming, but a batter too late. I thought Cabrera, if he's in a batter earlier, the Mets might win that game. Again, you can blame him in the running scoring position. I thought Blade Tidwell was getting rocked. They left him in way too long. He gives up 6 runs on 9 hits. He just didn't have it. And he was, approaching almost a season high in pitch count. I think it was 89 in the minors. I thought Tidwell didn't have it. The Mets left him in way too long, and he gave him 6 runs. He wore one for the team, but in the end, the Mets lose by 1 run, and that I thought was a big reason why. And then Friday, Nimmo and Alonso homer. Nimmo a 3-hit day. I think Nimmo is coming around a bit, and that's a huge sign for the Mets if he continues hitting cleanup. And Clay Holmes, a sub-3 ERA. He gives you a quality start. That's what I said before the season. If he's giving you 6 innings, 3 runs, 6 innings, 2 runs, you sign up for that every single day of the week for the Mets. And Clay Holmes has done that for the Mets. Again, smash that thumbs up on the video. Comment below. Are you concerned? Were you concerned what you saw this weekend? Are you concerned with the team overall? Let me know in the comments below. And then the final news of the show today, and again, Mets, Arizona, Griffin Canning on the hill tonight, 3-game series. You got the Knicks at 7. You got the Mets at 9:40, a little orange and blue sky doubleheader on your Cinco de Mayo. Maybe you have a nice Corona, have a beer while you watch the doubleheader, but should be a fun series in Arizona against a winning team. And a guy who's getting closer to Arizona, getting closer to Queens, and getting closer to the big leagues, Nolan McLean, promoted from AA to AAA. You saw one of the Mets prospects. He didn't do well and belated. Well, we've talked endlessly about Brandon Sproat, who might be the next man in line, but Noel McClain might be the next man in line too. You know, Tong is another guy who's dominated in Double-A. You're going to hear his name maybe in Triple-A by the summer. But McClain and Sproat now are duking it out for the next pitcher to make that spot start and potentially stick this summer. McClain, 1.37 ERA, 30 strikeouts in 26 and a third innings. He gets the call to Triple-A. He's ranked number 99 prospect in the sport, number 74 by Baseball Prospectus, 99 by Baseball America. He was originally drafted as a two-way player, but he focused on pitching starting last year. Man, he's dicing it up, folks. He is really looking good. 12 walks in those 26 and a third innings. What's impressed me, he has yet to allow a home run this season. He's got a mid to high 90s fastball. He's got a sweeping slider, and many call it one of the best in the sport. This kid is good. MLB Pipeline wrote earlier this year that he has a spin rate of over 3,000 RPM with over 20 inches of horizontal movement and velocity in the mid-80s. He's got a cutter, a changeup, a curveball as well. So for all the nerds out there, the RPM nerds, the spin rate, this and that, and the velocities, you're going to love Noel McClain, a name to keep an eye on to potentially be on this Mets roster. If there's another injury, they need another start. McClain is on his way. Sproat's on his way. Tong's on his way. So we talk a lot about the Gilberts, you know, all the prospects, Jet Williams of the world. All these guys that they have in the minors, they also have pitching. So stay tuned for that. Mets Diamondbacks, another tough test. Mets 2 series loss in a row. They're trying to stop the bleeding as they head to the desert. Smash that thumbs up. Subscribe to Mets Daily. Follow at Mets Daily Show on Twitter. Follow me at Jake Brown Radio on all social media. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow on Tuesday, May 6th. May the 5th be with you, I guess. We missed May the 4th be with you. May the 5th be with you. Go Knicks. Go Mets. New York or nowhere. We got the gear. We got the sweatshirt. We got the hat. Let's go Mets. Let's get back to the winning ways. Thank you so much for watching Mets Daily. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Let's go Mets.